AI can tell us through investigating many use cases of a demographic of that type of person that there's likely to be a fall in 3 days.
Hi, I'm Joey Meinig, and this is Adapt Insider. For over 15 years, Adapt has empowered Australia's executive community with trusted data, insights, and connections to help leaders make better business decisions. On this podcast, we speak with Australia's leading technology and business executives to unpack how they're navigating IT innovation, leadership, and transformation. What's working, what's not, and what's coming next. You'll also hear exclusive insights drawn from Adapt's research and benchmarking, giving you the practical intelligence you can actually use. Subscribe now to stay informed, stay relevant, and stay ahead.
I'm here today with Andrew Dome, and Andrew is the Chief Digital Information Officer at Uniting. And Andrew has led the development and production deployment of something called Buddy. And Buddy is a Gen AI digital assistant that supports frontline workers across aged care and community services. Andrew, welcome, and thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me. Looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, me too. It should be great. Now, generative AI is obviously a priority for Uniting. Can you talk a little bit about the history of Buddy? What was the impetus to sort of develop it in the first place, and what are some of the results you're seeing so far?
Yeah, so Buddy really came out of an incubation lab, which we partnered up with Microsoft about 18 months ago. And Microsoft came to us, in fact, a number of aged care providers in the sector, and they said, well, they're part of OpenAI, they're doing some pretty interesting things in ChatGPT, and who would be interested in looking at some use cases for Gen AI across our aged care sector? And we put a hand up. So out of that incubation lab, what happened is we went back to our business and we said, well, what are your business problems you're trying to solve? What are you seeing at the front line? And we ran some hackathons, we ran some discovery activities, and we came back with 50, which we narrowed down to 10 use cases, and then top 3. And those top 3 use cases were the ones that ultimately turned up on our production platform, which is now Buddy to this day. So,
and when was this? When did you first start exploring?
So that was 18 months ago.
18 months ago.
Yeah,
okay.
and probably to get from the discovery, start looking at that first use case and then productionizing was around about 12 months.
Okay. So do you want to talk about the functionality of the product, how many frontline workers are using it and what for?
Yeah, sure. So we have about 12,000 employees. We've had a phased approach to the deployment of that for a very good reason. We want to make sure we roll it out in a phased manner. We've got the security controls around it. So 1,000 of our frontline workers who work in our home and community care sector, they're using it right now. And they're the people that go into people's homes, our clients' homes, and offer services like cleaning and cooking, looking after them and so forth, doing their prescriptions. So we started with them because there was a real focus on that this year. There was a new Aged Care Act that came in by the government November 1. They want people to stay at home for longer. So looking to align with that, we wanted to focus on that sector. So 1,000 of our employees are using it right now, and over the next 12 months, we'll have the remaining. So 12,000 people will be using Buddy.
So can you talk a little bit about the functionality? So when one of your frontline workers sort of goes into, visits someone who's under care, how would that? What would be a typical interaction be with this Gen AI tool?
Yeah, so the biggest benefit that we're seeing right now is when a frontline worker goes in and provides those home and community care services, they go in and they see that customer. They might be there for 2 or 3 hours and they're cleaning, they're cooking food for them, preparing
basic
dinner.
Stuff.
Now, at the end of that session, they would come out. Now, historically, what they would do is they would drive to Uniting office. They would log onto a laptop or a desktop PC. They would then start typing up that progress note because you need to create a progress note for that customer every single time, every interaction. They no longer need to do that. What they actually do is they come out of that session from that person's home, they sit in their car, they pull out Buddy, which is on their smartphone, and they do a voice-to-text transcription of the services they provided today. So they're now gone for a 10 to 15-minute activity, plus the travel time to get to Uniting office, is now down to a 1-minute activity.
Wow.
So incredible uplift in terms of productivity. And the other thing around Buddy, which we were very conscious of, is we've made it multi-language support as well. So if they want to speak in their native language, and 20% of our frontline workers are of Nepali origin, they can speak Nepalese.
Is that right?
It will convert it into English and it puts it directly into the clinical system. So no typing at all. It's all done voice to text. So they're actually telling us they're getting 1 to 2 hours per employee back in their day.
That's amazing.
It is.
And how many languages are we talking about?
50. Currently, we've got
languages.
50 different languages that we'll translate. So that's really covering all of our employees that we know of here.
And is there anything special, I guess, you're doing with that data?
So, well, AI is data, right? So
Right,
you've got to
yep.
start off with your data. So the first two use cases was around retrieving content. So looking at policies and procedures. A new employee started uniting. They could ask a question around a policy or procedure and get that content returned immediately to their phone. The next use case, now that we've got the creation of the progress note, is to really look at the history of our customers. So think about that home and community care worker again, going in to see a customer. They can simply ask the question into Buddy and say, I'm about to see Joyce in her home. Please provide the last 5 days of history with her, what's her sentiments, anything that I need to be aware of. And hopefully we can do the opposite way, which is do text to voice. And then as they're driving, it will give that summary to that frontline worker. So plenty of opportunities, lots of different use cases which are coming through. And now that we've built Buddy out, we've got a production version, we're just working on the next use cases to add to it.
What about because you're working directly with people, some of them vulnerable. What were the ethical considerations when rolling out a product like this? Can you talk around those?
Yeah, I can, and that is an incredibly important conversation. So again, if I go back 18 months ago, the first thing that we did is we had a conversation with our execs and our board, and we said, what would we allow Gen AI to do in terms of use cases right now? And we went all the way from the spectrum of looking at policies and procedures and returning that content, which is very safe, it's low risk. It's publicly available already, but difficult to find, but no personal identification information. So
that's
very easy to start with.
Yep.
All the way through to, at the other end of the spectrum, would we allow Gen AI to create a care plan for a customer?
And what was your answer to that?
So 18 months ago, it was no.
Yeah.
Fast forward 18 months,
Yeah.
and actually going back, we had a conversation with the ethics centre. They came in and ran a session with our board members. And out of that, that's where we said no, we wouldn't allow a AI to create that content at that time.
Yep.
Fast forward 12 months ago, and we had a session with our board again, and the answer now is different. The answer now is let's have a look at the creation of a care plan, because the board's understanding of AI is better. They're seeing it being used across the sector, not for that use case, but for other things.
Other use cases, yeah.
And they've also are assured of the security controls that we've got in place as well. So it's moved on significantly. And we are seeing that with other boards as well across our sector. Understanding is better. Willingness to look at those other AI cases has definitely moved on from when we started.
And I guess the technology's got a little bit better too, and people are, I guess, more conscious of the fact that there needs to be a human in the loop, right? Whenever there's AI produces something, it always needs to be checked. Right.
There's definitely
that human first approach is definitely very important, and the technology will improve more and more as time goes on. I probably never think like humans do, but it'll get better. Now, there's an exciting part to this. Other NFPs are taking interest. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? There's an opportunity for you to, I guess, on-sell this.
Yeah, they are, and we were one of the, I guess, trailblazers in this Gen AI platform, Buddy. It's we call it a digital front door. And here was the other thing about Buddy. We wanted it to be all in one place. So whilst it does 2 Gen AI use cases right now, the policies and procedures plus the creation of the progress notes, we actually connected 10 other enterprise systems. So that means our employees, when they open up the app, they can check their pay slips. They can raise an incident if they see one. They can connect to payroll. They can see these other things. So we wanted to make it a digital front door. Other aged care providers have seen what we've done. I've done some keynotes about what it actually is. In fact, a year ago, I was talking about what we are building. Now when we're doing this session, this is what we built. And because they've seen that, they've seen it productionized, they've said, can we buy that concept, or can we somehow whitelist your product? So we're going down that pathway. In fact, we actually had our first customer just last week that signed up, and we're looking at selling that concept to other aged care providers in our sector. And by doing so, potentially what we'll end up doing is being able to offer this to very small providers or charities or NFP that won't be able to invest via a software as a service model. So exciting times, never been done before at Uniting, and really looking forward to seeing how we can build that out.
Can you talk about the first customer yet, or is it still too early?
I won't name them. They are an aged care provider though, who we have very, very close ties to.
So where do you see this going in the future? Do you see a future where perhaps AI technology is used to monitor people in aged care ethically? Do you see it going down that direction? So if someone has a fall in their home or something like that, that they're monitored, and you can get people out to them to assess what's happened and help them quicker than you
Absolutely.
perhaps have in the past?
Absolutely. And they are those other use cases which we were talking about. So we've also created a digital facility out at Waverley, and that digital facility replicates an aged care sites and also replicates someone's room at home and in an independent living room as well. And we're trialing sensors, wearable technology. So
like a digital twin type thing.
Yeah, like a digital twin, and it will detect a fall.
Yeah.
So automatically the notification will come through to Buddy, which will have a care worker on the floor, and then they'll go and deal with that that incident. But we want to move past that as well. We want to use AI and the data behind that to say we are looking at the way that our customers are walking around their apartment. It's different from what the norm is, and in fact AI can tell us through investigating many use cases of a demographic of that type of person that there's likely to be a fall in 3 days. So looking at fall prevention now, not just detection where it's too late and it's reactive, but being proactive. That's actually the nirvana. That's our real goal, to get to that stage. And we're not too far off, but that's where Buddy will morph into.
Identifying when people before people run into trouble. That's an amazing use case.
It is.
Yeah. And culturally, I mean, have people been really willing to use this tool? I guess it's quite easy for frontline workers to use. Now you haven't really had much pushback.
Well, it's interesting. People don't like change. Some people don't like change. So the all change around this is really important. We need to explain the reason why we're doing this. A really important part of our narrative is this is augmenting your work, is absolutely not replacing. We are a non-for-profit ourselves. We're a large one, but we're very, very clear to say this is going to help you do your job better. And giving time back in your day, 1 to 2 hours, means you can spend more time with our customers, and the quality of the aged care you're providing is going to be better. So very, very firm around that narrative.
Yeah, for sure.
Augmenting, not replacing. It's going to assist you to do your job.
Well, AI is not going to replace that face-to-face contact that people need, right?
That's right. And I think if you think about the people in aged care, a 70-year-old or an 80-year-old that's getting aged care, that they still want that human interaction. They want to have those services provided by a human. I don't think they're going to be ready for a robot to be doing that quite yet.
Thanks for listening to Adapt Insider. If you found this episode useful, make sure you subscribe and share it with a peer who would get value from the conversation. Adapt Insider is produced by Adapt, supporting Australia's technology and business leaders with independent research, advisory, and executive events. Learn more at adapt.com.au. Please note the views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect Adapt. References to products or services are not endorsements.